Hey, hey. See, waiting room. Oh. Hi.
What's going on?
Woohoo. I had to admit, I've never used a waiting room before.
Wow.
I like
First
that
time for
power.
everything, right?
Hi, Miss.
Hi.
Tammy.
Hey, guys.
Hi. Text out to your teams. I gave them meetings. I had one going to the hospital and one going to the school, so they're not going to be on.
Well, they can be on the recording, right?
Yeah. Jessica, hi. Can you hear? I was on with Tammy Castronova last night on our team one, and she couldn't hear all of us, so we gotta hear y'all.
That's technology.
Here's our Tennessee team, y'all. Oh, here comes Jill. Hi, Jill. Her video's off. Jan Solomon from Tennessee's coming on. Welcome, welcome. My time. We're gonna give everyone about 5-minute grace period. No, that's too much. Tammy Castronova, here she comes. I hope your hubby's with you.
Hey.
Here she is.
Mike just showing off the guns. Showing off the guns, man. Guns out always.
But I'm lousy at tennis.
I mean, tennis is for us people that can't grow any guns. So then we try to find something that we can do that both muscles can't do.
Okay, text out your team if you don't see them on. I knew Rochelle had a meeting, Jess, right after work.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hi. I got 10 so far. There's Betty in Texas. Texas is in the house. How's your cold, Rod? You had a cold yesterday.
Yeah, it's one of those weird summer coughs where you're not congested, but you have a cough for about a month. We've had like, I don't know, 7 or 8 family members and friends that have had it. So we're getting better. It's 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks. So voice is getting better. But I woke up with one of those, I get them every couple of years. I don't know if you guys ever get them, where you can't turn your neck. Like you get that kink where you try. So like this is about how far I can go right now. So I did an hour massage. I did the chiropractor. And so now I can turn it a little bit more, but that's about it. So first world problems, right? So it's all good. It'll come back.
Okay, we got Renee, Washington, Lisa, Tennessee just came on. We're getting a good turnout here for people. Hi, Bettina. That's my girl in Cincinnati. I'm just getting to know her. Okay, so what time do we got? We got 4:01. I'll give you a 1 more minute grace period. And we'll turn it over. I'm going to do a formal introduction. Most of you know who this gentleman is. And if you don't, you will.
Because they know that I'm friends with Mike and Tammy and Terry. So they better know who I am because I'm associated to you guys.
All right. So I'm going to mute everyone until we have a Q&A at the end. So I'll make sure Rob is unmuted. Allow participants to unmute themselves. So you guys can do that. So I'm not in whole control, only God is. Okay. So super excited for this. So many of you know that I get to be a part of Rob's 5-day Facebook challenge, and I earned an opportunity to do a one-on-one with him to get his book that is autographed, but I already have it, to be a part of his Tegon Nation, which I'm already in. So I chose, because I love to share, is to benefit all of you, because he's a pretty powerful guy. If you have not listened to him, and I know you have because I've been putting him in our team page, he is an author. He is a speaker. He is a consultant. He's a social media strategist. He's the owner of Tegon Nation, and Tegon acronym is the game of networking, which is his book, which is awesome. He was voted by his peers as the #1 coach in network marketing. So that's pretty awesome that we have this teacher pouring out to us this half hour. He lives with his beautiful family in Lehi, Utah, family of 6. And Lehi is where our corporate office is for all of you new people on here. I first met Rob at a Singular conference. Nikki Rempel and Freddie Elias brought you up during lunch, Rob. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. And what Rob does is he teaches network marketers. He teaches us what to do every day and how to do it. He focuses on the income producing activities to help you make more dollars. He works on content suggestions on social media, and he has a heart to help others. So, Rob, I was texting you some thoughts. I'm going to also open it up. I want to watch the time at least 10 minutes before you have to go for Q&A with the team. But I'm just going to turn it over to you because you have valuable content all the time. So thank you for being on. I feel privileged.
No pressure for me at all. Thanks for having me. Excited to be on. And it's just a privilege to help out people in the network marketing profession. I reflect back, I was talking about this on a training that I just did recently, but I think sometimes people just think, for, those of us that maybe have had success, that it was always easy, and they don't realize what we all go through. We all have a different journey. But I remember when I started the network marketing profession, I had these huge goals. And then I remember my 5th month in the business, I was doing the business full time. So this was my only source of income. I'm used to making about almost $8,000 a month running a tennis club. So I have to make that to even make it just as good. And then I made $400, less than $400 for the month. And I worked 80 hours a week. And I'm thinking, what am I doing? I could just go work at McDonald's and I'd make more than I'm making in this network marketing deal. And I think it's just really important to understand that and have that perspective, because everything worthwhile is always harder than we think it's going to be. If you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. If you're married or have been married, you know what I'm talking about, right? You got Mike and Tammy right there. They love each other to death. They had no idea how hard marriage was going to be, right? But it's the most rewarding thing, the hardest things. Network marketing, the same thing. I thought it was going to be hard, but I had no idea. And so I think it's important to point that out, because everything begins with the vision. Think about this. If the vision isn't big enough, you're not going to do anything. When you're going to work out, right, and you feel all that pain, or you're waking up early in the morning, or it's late at night, you're not going to go work out if the pain is greater than what you think the pleasure is going to end up being. That's delayed gratification. You're not going to go through those fights with a loved one and endure those fights if you feel like it's not worth it, right? You've got to have the vision so that you fight for that real, true why. And it's all about return on investment of time in everything in life. We're not just talking about money. We just mean in everything in life. And so sometimes I think our vision gets cloudy in network marketing. And I think it gets cloudy because I think one of the biggest insecurities in network marketing is not knowing when. And I see Troy's on here. Troy's been extremely successful. Several of you, Mikey and Tammy, several of you have been extremely successful. But if I were to tell all of you in here, and let's say your goal is to make X amount within a year, Okay, let's just throw out a number. All of you are different. You can insert whatever number you want. And you said, if I could just make $5,000 a month, I'd never have to work again. The problem is the fact that you don't know when causes massive insecurities. If you knew it was going to take you 2.5 years, you may say, that's a bummer. I was planning on a year at most. And you're like, 2.5 years is a long time. But you'd be okay with that. What else could you do 2.5 years from now? You'd never have to work another day in your life. Now, I'm not making any guarantees. I'm giving an example and an analogy. We like to have a destination, and we like to have things just known. Do X, Y, and Z, receive X, Y, and Z. There's a reason why, again, I'm not ripping on because we need them. There's a reason why people are okay to go to school to be a doctor and spend 12 years going to school to be a doctor and then having, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. And that's considered great because it's known, right? I know that I'm going to achieve this if I put this in. Now, I know the price is steep, but I'm going to achieve this if I put this in. In network marketing, I'm just telling you, I'm not talking about maybe that's what fulfills you as being a doctor. So I never rip on jobs at all, especially doctors. We need doctors, right? But I am saying that you actually could put in the time and eventually make more than most doctors, okay? Your leaders are making more than doctors are making, and they didn't go through the debt, and most of them, it didn't take them as much time, and they don't have to go into their practice and work 40 to 80 hours a week, if you put that in perspective. But we freak out, and again, I know some of you are like, well, I don't even need to make doctor money. I'm not saying you do. I'm just putting in perspective. So what happens is we just think, is it really worth it? Can I really do this? Should I really put forth everything I've got? And so you're having this battle with yourself. And as you're having this battle with yourself, what we end up doing is, and some of you have heard me give this speech. So I hate giving like the same speeches. So I do like quick version, even though most of the time it's only like 3 people that have heard it, right? So I'm going to give you the quick version. But I give this speech when I'm on stage on Victim, Survivor, and Conquer. And so most of us are like become survivors. We're right there in the middle. We believe it's possible, but we're just not sure how much. And so we give effort. We show up on trainings like this. We even go to the convention. We're in the Facebook group. We're watching Facebook Lives. But now I'm going to give you the tough love. We're fake working. Working in this business is talking to brand new people. And we survive, but the successful people that you see, like the Troys and the Mike and the Tammys, right, that have gone out and made, over $1 million, they get so sick and tired of surviving that they just go out and they actually conquer. So showing up is the first level. That's good. Surviving's not bad. So don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I'm just saying surviving's not enough. And most network marketers are surviving, right? I asked him the end of the last 3 months, like, how hard do you work? Oh, I work so hard. Okay, how many new people do you talk to? A lot. A lot's not a number. How many new people did you talk to? And most of the time, 90% of the time they were working, they weren't talking to brand new people. They were making the plan for the plan of the plan of the plan of the plan of the plan. We're working in our mind. We're taking the path of least resistance. And it's not that the successful people don't do that as well. They just do that less. They just stay in the income producing activities more than you. They still go in management mode. You can ask them all. They'll be real with you. I haven't met a leader that doesn't. They're just in the income producing activities more often than you. They snap out of survival mode. They snap out of survivor mode. They snap out of management mode. They snap out of the fake work. And so I had a saying that I wrote in my office that was right where I was always working. And it said, is what I'm doing right now making me the most amount of money? And that helped me to be more effective with my time. Because billionaires don't work harder than millionaires. Millionaires don't work harder than six-figure earners. Six-figure earners don't work harder than a lot of people that make minimum wage. But the difference is how effective are you with your time? If I were to ask you how many new people did you talk to the last week, the last month, the last 3 months, You should be able to give a set answer. This is your business. I'm not your boss. No one's your boss. But if it's really important to you, you'll track it. And then third-party validations, right? Whether that's group chats on Messenger, or whether that's Zooms, or whether that's three-way calls, just another voice. How many of those are you doing? Because I found the top 2 reasons are pretty simple why people aren't having success. Number 1, they're not talking to enough new people. Number 2, they aren't doing third-party validations. That's it. All the other things that I'm teaching you to motivate you on, or to give you vision, or to help you on skills, or that your company's training you, or that your team's training you, or anyone's training you, that's to give you enough vision and confidence to get you to do step 1 and step 2. Reach out to new people, do third-party validations. The business model is very simple. It doesn't make it easy, because trust me, that's when the fears come in. So now I just had this big breakthrough, and maybe some of you, you knew this all along, but anytime I have a breakthrough, I get really excited, because I'm always scared. I don't want to give the same training over and over. I'm like, crap, people are going to be like, I've heard that before, Rob, come up with something new. So I'm always I'm just being real. I'm always scared in a good way, or I'm listening to books and I'm studying things, and I'm like, okay, what can I give as my own spin? And I'm sure sometimes you guys hear it and you're like, I've heard that before, but this was my breakthrough, and I hope it helps you. I started listing all of the fears that network marketers have, and I actually did a poll in the game of networking, and I had over 300 plus responses. Fear of the unknown, fear of success, fear of failure, fear of responsibility, fear of missing out, fear of public speaking, fear of on and on and on and on and on. And there was one big fear that was mentioned that was number 1. I haven't mentioned it yet. And that was fear of judgment. And here was my big breakthrough, because this helped me, because I'm writing my second book, which my books take way too long to write for me. I'm just overanalyzing everything. And I think I'm almost done. So it will be out this next year. And I'm going over all the fears and overcoming them in network marketing. And this was the breakthrough. If you took away the fear of judgment, I believe it removes all those other fears that I just mentioned. Now I understand there could be fear of heights or fear of spiders, and that wouldn't be relevant. When we're talking network marketing, remove the fear of judgment. Think about it. You wouldn't have the fear of success. You wouldn't have the fear of failure. You wouldn't have the fear of the unknown like you've got. You wouldn't have the fear of public speaking. You wouldn't have any of these fears. You wouldn't have fear of missing out. So really, when it comes down to that simplifies everything for you to put life into perspective. The greatest determining factor on who shows up at your burial or not is the freaking weather. And we're over here stressed out because someone may say it's not the right time for them to buy your products or join your business, when most people aren't even going to show up to your funeral. And then if they go to your burial or not, it's going to be, what's the weather like? That's just nuts. And we're just worried about fear of judgment. You're not going to be on your deathbed and say, I'm so glad I didn't reach out to my good friend John because he could have said no to me. You're going to laugh about that. So if you can laugh about it then, let's gain vision and perspective right now. And that'll help you out in your life and in your business to not have the fear of judgment. Now, let's not be idiots, right? And say, well, I don't have fear of judgment. And now we just go and try to offend everybody, okay? I say do your best and forget the rest. So there's a balance. We still want to be in tune. We still want to care about people. But if you feel like you care about people and you're doing your best, then don't worry about it. Because I've heard other people on the extreme of, I'm just blunt, and that's their excuse of saying, I offend everybody in the world, and if they get offended, it's their fault. Well, if you're offending everybody, you probably aren't a very good communicator, and there's something with you as well. So there's a balance on that, but I'm just trying to give you all perspective to take more action in what you already know. You have an incredible company. I know your company as well as any company that I know. You have incredible leaders. You've got incredible products. Trust me, I know I've tried so many your different products. I've gone through them all. I actually just took one of I always forget the names, just the Zing, like the little energy. Like I just took one of those. And then I took one, someone told me, but they didn't tell me that you're supposed to start out with only one. And it was the one that was like, I thought it was mean. It was like the testosterone, like one or whatever. And I didn't really know. Like, so I thought that was kind of a little bit like rude, you know, because I work from home, kids are at school. So I'm like following my wife around the house and she's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. I just like took this stuff. Like, this company gave it to me. I think you should take it as well. So took too many of those, but I will say they work. So I've tried the products, great products. You know, you have incredible owners. I mean, your owners are just good freaking human beings. I mean, I told Mark Walker that, whatever it was, 6 months ago when it was his birthday. I'm like, the best thing I like is everybody just talks about how they want to be like you and be around you. I'm like, that's the ultimate compliment. And I feel like, you know, I know him just average, but I feel like I know him well just from all of you. So with all of that said, it's really you. And you got to get over yourself. Because when we go over the fear of judgment, this is going to hit home for a lot of you. You've got an ego. And I know some of you feel like because you're so nice and you don't approach other people and you're not bold, that you're crazy humble. But if you're that worried about other people's opinions of you, then you actually have an ego. And ego, your ego ain't your amigo. Ego stands for edging God out. Ego stands for everyone's got one. There's a lot of different directions you can go, and we all have some sort of an ego. But I think it's important to understand that. And it's finding a way to be the most confident version of you, because I don't believe that God put you on this earth to play small. I don't think he put you on this earth to be average. I don't think he thought, insert your name of, oh, I'm going to put so-and-so and they're just going to be really average or below average. And that's okay. I don't believe that with anyone. I know people, without knowing all your backstories, people that have probably a background 10 times worse than you, have 10 times less than you, and have done 10 times more than you. So I just want to tell all of you that you can do more and you can be more. But, and this is going to be, I know your guys' style a little bit more, so I can be more myself, which I'm always myself, but I try not to, how do I say it? Like, if I say God didn't put you on this earth to be average, there's actually some teams or groups that would be really offended, even if I don't mean it. I don't care, believe in whatever you believe, but I love that I can just be real with all you guys. So look at it this way. There's two different voices, whatever you want to call it. I call it like God and Satan, right? And it's like one's telling you can be better and be more, and the other's telling you you suck and you can't. And one's whispering crap into your mind. And so who are you going to listen to? Who's your master? Fear or faith? Because you can't serve both. And faith is actually an action. You can't just think it. You actually have to act. And so I look at it as network marketing is a great way to help you to fulfill your talents and potential and help you to overcome your fears and help you to become the person that you're meant to become. And it helps you to go live your life on purpose. I mean, for me, I look at the influence. I just taught at my church, I just taught all the youth on how to do public speaking. I mean, how cool is that? That was my greatest fear growing up. So that was a lot of fun. I get to show the world that I did 7 family vacations. I don't brag about my cars or houses. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I do brag about family vacations because for me, my favorite quote of all time is die with memories, not with dreams. It's the most profound quote that hits home for me more than anything else. It gives me perspective on life, is die with memories, not with dreams. So for all of you, what does all that mean? All the fears, the vision, the things I went through. I made less than $400, right? My 5th month in the business, working 8 hours a week. It's just to help you overcome your fears and get over yourself. Get over your ego that maybe you didn't even realize you had. And stop letting fear of judgment own you in your lives. Stop playing so small to make other people feel comfortable. Stop it. Jim Rohn said it best. When someone said to Jesus Christ, you're the Son of God, he didn't say, oh, thank you so much, Sally, but no, I'm not. You're too kind. You're too kind. Look, I'm not telling you ever be boastful, but step into your greatness. And all of you have it in you. And I know it's baby steps, but I'm just telling you, you can do this. All the skills, I can answer any questions you guys all want. You just have so many incredible trainings. You got such an incredible company that sometimes I think we just need tough love, kick in the butt. So we stop fake working and we start just stepping into our greatness. So I'm happy to do any Q&A session and answer any questions that y'all have, and go from there. We didn't know which direction we were going to go. I didn't know what I was going to say, but you just say what you're going to say and go from there.
Yeah, I gave Rob some bullet points, and I do have a question, but I want to hear from all of you. And I know I've asked several of you to write down questions early, so please, you have the floor and unmute yourselves. We'd love to hear from you.
Do we have to do, there's no such thing as a bad question? Tammy, let's go. Let's hear it.
Hey, Rob. So nice to see you. I met you a long time ago at a conference. I've been talking all day, so my throat is like all scratchy, but I don't really have a question. I just want to say thank you so much. That was awesome. I totally needed to hear the whole get over yourself judgment thing. That was fantastic.
You're welcome. And just so you all know, I'm talking to myself when I talk to you, because I'm still growing, right? Like I have new levels, new heights. We always do. So it helps me the most trying to teach everybody else on crap. I need to work on this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's awesome. That's why we love you.
Thanks. Well, Terry, you go ahead and ask, and we'll let other people think of any questions they want as we go.
Yeah, and I do want to acknowledge our incredible mentors that are on here, Mike and Tammy Castranovo. I actually went to school with Tammy, and how I got started in this was I reached out to her on Facebook because she posted a picture of a before and after that got my attention. So she used social media, and it's a blessing. They're just awesome. As you all know, we call them Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and I just want to give them kudos because we're grateful for them. Being coachable under them and committed to work with them. We love their integrity. So my question to you, Rob, is, I was looking back over the game of networking, and you have an ebook on tap rooting. Can you touch on that, what that is, in case others might want to check what that is?
Yeah, for sure. It's a free ebook that I created a couple years ago. And tap rooting is the art of taking one person and really sponsoring a circle of influence. The best recruiters you'll see as your leaders that are on here is leaders sponsor circles of influence. Leaders launch teams. Distributors sign up other distributors. Now, some of you are like, whoa, crap, I'm doing it wrong. No, we all have to start out with first learning how to sign up distributors, right? You got to learn how to walk. You got to learn how to crawl and walk before you can sprint. So there's nothing wrong with that. But as you get better, what you want to do is you want to be able to get into someone's circle of influence. The average person knows 2,000 people. Now, when I say no, like it could be like, you could say like past communities, school, church, other communities, you're part of, whatever. So, when I started, it was a lot of just recruiting, and it would just stop there. And I know all of you have gone through that, and it's really frustrating. But as you get better, you learn how to get the newest person into action. And the saying is, and I say this in the book, every dud knows a stud. And then I clarify, like, I never want to say dud in the sense of we're judging them as a human being. We're saying more just like dud. I got family members I love to death. I would tell them they were duds in my business, but they're not as human beings. They're much better than I am as human beings. But in the business, I'm like one of the family members that I can say whatever I want because they know my intent and I don't offend anyone. My brother says anything and he offends everybody. It's awesome. Like, it's great. Like, I say whatever. They all know my intent. They are like, how do you say that? You don't offend anyone. It's just intent. They understand it. So if you really can get into that circle of influence, it can help you to really never run out of contacts. So I'll give you an example. I'd been in the industry for, I don't know, 5 years or so. And this company had done $4 billion in sales. I created a new brand, almost like a new company for them. I was the founder, consultant, and really master distributor of this. I'm like, I'm going to go recruit everyone I can. After 6 months, I had only sponsored one person. Some of you are like, what? We did over $1 million in sales month one. Now, again, that was 5 years of mastering, right? I had credibility. So yes, that adds into it. I had learned how to get into someone's circle of influence. So let me give you one tip on that. The book literally will take you 45 minutes to read. It's really quick, but you can study it. Here's some of the main principles. How I became the top recruiter out of 1 million distributors, and I'm an introvert, and I'm not a hard pitch guy. I'm not a hard closer. It's not my style or personality. But I am a good communicator, and so I had to learn how to use that. Is when somebody new started, I got them into action the second they signed up. Now, again, if it's a customer, right, they're not going to go look for other business builders. So know your audience and mirror whoever you're talking to. But if someone signs up doing this as a business, I'm not going to start with them a day, 2, 3, 4, 5 days from now, 6 days from now. Because the longer you go, you think they're gaining confidence from watching the trainings, but the more that they're going to bed with nightmares, thinking about what if so-and-so says no, no, no. Whereas if they go to bed and they've approached someone, now they're going to bed with dreams. Oh my goodness, if Troy does this thing is going to freaking blow up. So I want them going to bed with dreams rather than nightmares. So once I learned this principle of getting them to reach out to people, literally as many people as I could. Sometimes it was only one. Sometimes it was 0 people, right? Sometimes it was 20, literally on the spot. We would just go. Like, I'm like, my wife's like, where are you? And it's like 2 hours later, I'm like, I got a hot one. Like, they're reaching out, they're going. Like, but what happens is, in the example I give in the book is think of like an airplane. You don't know how to fly an airplane. And that's like network marketing. You don't know how to do network marketing. And you get in the airplane with me, right? And let's say I'm your sponsor. I know how to do network marketing. And I'm like, I'm going to teach you how to fly the airplane. So you get in, you're all excited. And what do? I jump out of the airplane and I say, hey, good luck, Julie, right? You're brand new. Julie, there's this YouTube video in this Facebook group, and just go watch all the videos, and anything you need, I'm here for you. Just reach out to me, call me. I get out of the airplane. I'm basically telling them, like, go fly the freaking airplane on your own. And they're like, eject, I'm done. And you wonder why you never have any success. You got to hold their hands. Like, they need me to be co-pilot with them. And so the most important part of a duplication model is getting that newest person launched ASAP. If they haven't done anything in 48 hours, I started to worry. If they haven't done anything in a week, 90+% of the time they're done. Now, this is only once they've committed to doing this as a business, right? If they've been a product user for 6 months and then they commit to doing it as a business, then that's when their timer starts. So that was a big thing I did. Now the key is, well, how do you do that, right? Well, yeah, if you're a big leader, it's easier to do that because you have credibility. If you're not, well, how do you leverage your team's credibility? How do you leverage your leader? How do you leverage your company? How do you leverage an offensive plan, right? Of, hey, I take responsibility. Let me help you to make your money back. How do you make it where it's simple, where, hey, it's really easy. All you're doing is sharing what you're excited and what you're checking out, and you're just telling them to check it out. Like, everything comes back to, how do I get them into action right away? Because I'll tell you this, and your team has great systems. Most of the time, leaders make it happen with a really simple system. Then they get really busy, and then they try to create this really elaborate system to help their teams. And what's interesting is all these $1 million earners create systems for their teams that they or no one else ever did to make it happen. I'm just telling you, I coach millionaires. I spoke in 9 countries last year. I coach $1 million earners every day. I'm like, why are you training your teams to do something you or no one else ever did? It may sound good, but it doesn't work. What did you do? Let's go back to the basics. Let's keep it simple. So that's the big thing, is just really keeping it simple, getting them into action. And that's like the Cliff Notes version. If you have ADHD like I do, then you just got that version, which Mike and Tammy, do you guys remember what ADHD stands for? A dude has dreams. Come on. That's what it stands for. Just making sure. So that's what I would say. That's like the scoop, short version.
Troy unmuted. Come on, Troy.
Come on, Troy. Rob, awesome job, brother. Thank you so much. And if you could just touch upon, the significance of goal setting. Is accountability partner needed? Tracking our activities, not only ourselves, but our team. We've got, I think, a lot of people that, for whatever reason, it's a fear, of putting that stuff out there. But could you take a couple minutes and just talk about what your experience with been, with the difference between those that set goals, track numbers, gauge numbers, and then have the accountability aspect into it?
For sure. Yeah, I love it. A good question. So there's two different studies. One is 95% more success when you have an accountability partner. Another is 96% more success when you have a specific accountability appointment. Same thing, really. They're just saying it in a different way. I mean, the analogy I like to give is, can you imagine Michael Phelps, the greatest Olympian of all time? He's training for the Olympics. He's swimming, he gets out of the water, and you're like, hey, Michael, how'd you do? He's like, what do you mean? What were your times? Oh, I don't know. I did really good. I tried my best. Like, that's laughable, right? That's what we do in our business. So I had an accountability partner in my entire career of network marketing, because my mentor now has made over $30 million, and he just told me it was one of the most important things. So I had someone that I sent my results in every single night, good, bad, ugly. And we promised to be honest, because I know that sounds simple, but a lot of times we embellish, and we know when we say something what they're going to interpret it as. And so if I had a crap day, did nothing, I just said it. And so the first thing is you got to find that person, even if it's just simple text. Then the next thing is there's two kinds of goals. And there's probably a lot more, but we're going to go with two right now. There's the big, huge goals, and then there's the minimums. So you can set the minimums, and those are the non-negotiables, the daily. Like, what are you willing to do when you don't feel like it? You're sick, you're tired, you can't turn your neck like me right now, or I'm like, my neck is so jacked up, right? But I'm still going to do my personal development today, right? I'm still going to do, right? Like, what are you willing to do no matter what? And don't set those too high, because you got to think, like, on your worst days, what are you willing to do? Because the goal is just progress in your business and in your life. Then you have the times, right, where you have the big goals, and there are times that leaders always sprint, right? We can't always sprint. It's impossible. We'll get exhausted. And you pick those times to sprint. And then you set those, and if you have the accountability person to help you, that makes a difference. And sometimes you guys create accountability pods, meaning you could have, 2 or 3 in it. But the main thing is just be positive. Positive doesn't mean you can't say, I got my butt kicked today. Of course, say I got my butt kicked today, got rejected 9 times, no success. Actually kind of had a downer day today, but guess what? Tomorrow, I'm going to crush it. I'm going to bounce back. I'm excited. I'm grateful for you, right? And so we're just sharing. But the key is, can you do it? Because it sounds good, but most people aren't willing to do those simple things. And I always say successful people just do the basics better. That's it. Are you willing to do the basics better? So set it, stick to it, find the accountability partner, and make sure you report to that person every single day. Every single day. Yes, every day, even if you did nothing. Every day, I promise. Even without goals, that'll make a huge difference. Now, of course, have goals, because that'll keep you more on the course. But even without goals, it'll make a huge difference.
Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Troy.
Anyone else? Don't be shy. Rob gets you out of the uncomfortable zone when you push allow on your phone. I want to respect his time because we're at over a little half hour. So going. Mike and Tammy.
Hey, Rob. Good to see you. I saw you with Chastity today on Facebook.
And Natasha.
And Natasha, that was cool.
Yeah, the greatest part about living in Utah, I get to see a lot of you guys when you come in town.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, a lot of our team, probably including us, we are so much product forward and not business forward. How do you get past the mindset of that?
Yeah, I think every company, whatever they are, wants the opposite. So the companies that are too millennial focused, want Gen Xers and baby boomers, and those that are baby boomers or Gen Xers want some millennials, and those that are product focused want business. So I'd say first off, that's great. But what I would say is if that's your strength, you can't be everything to everyone. But I would say for all of you is I would look at it at the very least of if someone has a great product experience, make sure that you're introducing the business to them in their way. Now, what do I mean by their way? Look, if they're liking the products, they might as well get their products for free. They might as well share the products. No asky, no giddy. So you got to go ask, right? Why would they not? Anything we like, we share with other people. So why would you not give them that chance? Why would we be so scared? Fear of judgment, right? So, it may be that they don't want to do it as a business, but them sharing it with a couple friends that get the products as well, that's doing it as a business. It's just, for them, business can be an overwhelming word. So it could just start out with, hey, let me help you get your products for free. One big thing I will say that I think is the next big thing in network marketing that only a few groups are doing is taprooting customers. So getting customers that have a really good experience and asking them if they'd be willing to make a post on social media that talks about their experience. Now, don't have them mention the company name or private message me or anything, but just by them sharing their real experience. And then you let them know if anybody buys that, hey, I'm happy to give you some free product. A lot of times I've seen people transition into the business just because they never thought they could have success. And so teaching them, sometimes you got to show them a couple examples and say, here's some ideas, right? Screenshot some, give them 3 or 4 examples. And, let me give you the quick training on it. You shoot them a message. Hey, Julie, just checking in. How you liking the products? Oh, I'm loving the products. I've dropped 5 pounds in the last, 15 days. Awesome. Great. Would you be willing to do me a favor? Message back. Sure. What can I do for you? Would you be willing just to make a post with your experience? And that's it. And if people end up buying, or asking about anything like that, then I'll just give you some free products. And usually like, oh yeah, I'd love to do something like that. And you're like, great. Anything you want to post, you can. Just to help you out, here are a couple examples. And that's it. That's the process. And by doing that, now you're taking customers and they start doing the business without even knowing they're doing the business, which becomes a much more of a natural transition, right, for them. Because I can't tell you how many people had no intent of doing the business, even in your company, right? But they had a great product experience and then naturally transitioned. So that's what you're doing is you're helping them. Other people, you can be even more direct and they're going to see it. But I would just say like, look, they overcame the biggest hurdle. Do the products work? Yeah, they work. If they work, why wouldn't you want to share it with everybody? So that's what I would say. So
thank you.
Well, I appreciate it, Terry, for us getting this thing set up finally, and appreciate you. You crushed it and you earned this in our 5-day Facebook Live challenge, and you're putting yourself out there and being bold, and so I'm super proud of you. And when I saw it was you, I was really excited. Anytime I had to go into teams that I know and I'm familiar with, it's always a little more comfortable and fun. So I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of you for tuning in, and even those that are watching the recording a little bit later. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for always being generous and giving yourself away and being humble. And And I just did a quick little tally. We've got 7 states represented here. So well done, everyone, for showing up. So yeah, thank you. And I'll get that recording up and we'll be on T-Gon Nation and watch his free challenges, you guys. It'll stretch you.
Thanks so much. I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your week. And
Everyone say goodbye to Rob.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
we'll see you guys.